Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for a cherry on top to share with you this large photo layout of our cat created using a travel collection. So this is the Round Trip collection from Maggie Holmes, and I am using it again. This is my second layout with this collection. I am using it to create this layout, non-themed layout. So I'm hoping to inspire you to see that just because a particular collection is themed doesn't mean that you have to use it for that theme. There are often many elements that are included in a collection that you can create using the color palette and the designs. So I am cutting here 1/4-inch strips. I have printed the photo on 12 by 12 photo paper skewed to the right, and I'm going to just create some vertical strips with these stripes with these strips. And I'm doing that to combat the very dominant horizontal that I have going in the blinds here where Jasmine is napping. So she is actually sitting on the top of the couch in my scrap room and just basking in the summer sun there. I believe it's summer, June, yes. So I have the 12 by 12 paper pad. I have the 6 by 8 paper pad, as well as some loose, just 12 by 12 double-sided papers. I had ripped that previously for a previous layout, and I want to use that torn edge because I like the way that the torn edge softens the very dominant line of the blinds there, as well as the vertical line of the frame of the window. So I'm going to just adhere these strips, knowing that I want to zigzag stitch on some of them at different lengths, overlapping. I'm not going to cut them straight. I don't mind if there's gaps in between. In fact, I kind of want the gaps in between. So there's a lot of structure to the blinds, obviously, right? Each blind is the same distance apart. And so in order to soften that structure, I'm going to go vertical with the strips, or stripes, and then I'm also going to be a little less structured with them, a lot more haphazard, and I will spare you the agony of me watching me put every stripe down, and I will just cut to the finishing part of that. But you can see I have the color palette of the navy, black, yellow, and pink, and so the idea was to try and get a good mix of all of those of different lengths. And then I will go in and I believe I don't think I do this. I want to say I do this after the fact, but I do go to the sewing machine and I zigzag stitch. So here I have both the ephemera pack as well as the ephemera tags, and I'm just pulling out the elements that have the same color palette that I'm working in and that are not travel themed. I mean, I could use an airplane on there, but I kind of like it to be relevant, and so I'm just sort of scanning through and seeing what my options are. So I really like this sticker book. I do find that the stickers are actually pretty small. I'm accustomed to Simple Stories sticker books, and the elements are a little bit larger. So I thought that maybe the packaging like this, the envelope stripe would make a cool place to provide somewhere to put my title and or my journaling. But I decide instead that I'm going to go for my very favorite Tim Holtz debossing dies. So funnily enough, with the same collection, I used the labels. Well, he has come up with the same idea, and so it debosses the outer edge of the tag. And I know that there are some gold elements that I want to use, and so I am using gold ink to deboss down into just white cardstock there. And I like the way that complements the gold elements that I am going to use, and it gives me somewhere, that kind of breaks up all of that vertical stripe, as well as somewhere to house my title well, that's what my plan was, but it changes, and my journaling. And if you look at my journaling in the close-ups, so the tag is askew, and I did that on purpose. I was trying to maintain the same lines as the blinds, but my journaling, I wanted to be vertical, and I guess it is vertical, but it's not in line with it anyway. It doesn't look great, but it is what it is. The story is told. So I have found some yellow ribbon from my very, very old stash. I want to say it's from May Arts from like probably a decade ago. So I like the way that the yellow complements, just tying that in there. And I'm only going to tie it into one of them. I did not put any protectors, hole protectors or reinforcers. The die set does come with reinforcers, but I didn't want that competing color because I already have so much going on with those vertical stripes there. And so I like the way that this just gives me some more of the horizontal elements to balance everything out. So the trick when you have opposing lines is to try and balance the horizontal and the vertical there. So I really like those 3 labels that are connected. I believe there was a 4th one maybe, and one of them has more of a peachy color than the pink, and it's probably really the only peach that is in the layout, but I am not going to worry about that. I fussy cut some of the flowers from one of the pattern papers, the 12 by 12 pattern papers. I like the yellow florals that are there, but I really wanted some pink as well. And so that's why I fussy cut them, just to give myself a little bit more variety. Again, this is a travel-based collection, so most of the elements were travel-based, but I was able to find a fair amount, as you can see here, that worked in order to be able to use mostly this collection. So this is Black Soot, Distress Oxide ink. I just wanted just a thin line around the outside edge of this Today ephemera piece. Again, just to give a little bit of contrast. There's a lot of contrast on that right-hand side where Jasmine is sitting. And then I've got those shots of the navy blue, but I felt that this needed just that little shot more. So when you do ink things, remember that you are probably going to get ink on your fingers, so make sure you clean that ink off. I can't tell you how many times I've smudged black ink smack dab in the middle of that white spot there, and there's just no way you can cover that up. So key to remember to clean your fingers afterwards. So these ephemera pieces have green leaves, and I could have used them, but I really didn't want the green. Like it would have looked random, and so I cut those off knowing that I had the leaves that's in the pattern paper. There's a pattern paper that is all these really fun leaves that I could cut as a replacement for the leaves that are there. So I found this ephemera piece that said lovely, and I thought it would be a great way to begin my title, and I will finish my title with these waffle flower dies and just cardstock with more blue to bring a little bit of blue. There's no navy on that right-hand side of the layout there, and so that is what is going to tie the left-hand side to the right-hand side and complete my title. I also, while I was looking for what letters I was going to use for nap, found these pieces that I've again used previously for a cherry on top project from Simple Stories. It's one of the vintage collections. I liked the navy. It complemented the navy that's in the collection, and I really liked the butterflies and the hearts. So I'm going to sprinkle a few of those in to just wrap up the layout. So I hope I have inspired you to take a look at maybe using a collection that has one intent for a different intent, and how it's completely possible. I hope I've also inspired you to maybe think about, with design principles, using opposing lines as I have done here. So I have linked in the Cherry on Top gallery all of the product that I have used if you are interested in reproducing this layout or doing something similar, or if I've inspired you in any way to, I love the colors of this collection. It's absolutely beautiful. And so again, what I'm doing here is just adding adding a few finishing touches to the layout. So lots of cat layouts lately. I think with my son being off in college and my daughter being busy in high school and constantly up in her room studying, you will likely see more of the cats because they're just cute, and I'm a sucker for a cat picture. So that's going to wrap things up, my friends. The close-ups are coming. If you have any questions about my design process, please don't hesitate to leave those in the box down below. Thanks for stopping in today. Come back again soon. Take care.